Marriage in rich people's world was a contract before it was anything else. My marriage with Sebastian was for love, but because the gaps between our family, I'd signed one with him too. When the love ran out, I'd walked away with nothing. Not even my wedding ring. Let alone a powerful mafia family like the Castellanos. They would only be more careful. I understand. Honestly, if you just need someone in the house, we don't have to make it legal. I'm fine without the paperwork. Luca shook his head.
Marriage is for Leo. He needs the most stable mother I can give him, and marriage is the strongest contract there is.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Don't worry, you'll get $100,000 a month for expenses.
This was the part I cared about. I'd been burned before. Mr. Castellano, if we divorce someday, can I keep the money you've given me?
Of course, it's yours.
All right then.
As for sex, I don't need anything from you in that area. You stay on the second floor.
Oh right, the sex. That's fine. Neither do I. So, 3 days after I signed divorce papers, I got married again. No ceremony, no guests. Same as my first wedding. The butler added an extra dish to dinner. I thought that was the celebration. But suddenly, Luca slid a Signa ring across the table. A Castelloni family ring. That's not necessary. Sebastian never even gave me his family ring.
For Leo's sake.
Then I got it. The child needed a family illusion. I fell into silence and finally took it. I'll keep it safe. That night, I'd just gotten into bed when the door creaked open. Leo stood in the doorway, bare feet, hair sticking up, fidgeting with his dinosaur pajamas. What's up, kiddo?
Nora, can you read me a bedtime story?
What?
I'll get my dad to pay you extra. If you don't want to, forget it.
Come here. I held the covers open. Halfway through the story, he was out cold against my shoulder. Next morning at breakfast, Luca's eyes widened when the butler told him Leo had slept in my bed.
Nora, that was above and beyond. I'll add another $50,000 a month.
Mr. Castellano, that's way too much. It was. By a lot. I'd given far more than this in my last marriage and walked away with literally nothing. During the day, I babysit his nephew. At night, I cooked for my husband. After satisfying his needs in bed, I still had to get up at 5 to clean the house and make breakfast.
We could hire someone, but Nora's just sitting around all day. Wouldn't be fair.
Despite all these, the day of the divorce, his sister told the lawyer I'd been living off them for 3 years. Mr. Castellano, it's really too much. I like Leo, he's a sweet kid. Reading him a book is nothing. As I said it, Leo came over and grabbed my fingers with his small, warm hand. He was looking up at me with those big, dark grape eyes. He was actually moved.
You don't know. The women before you only cared about impressing me. They ignored him. 50,000. That's the new number. Not negotiable.
From that day on, Leo was my shadow. Luca was busy with all the transactions, the guns, and the bloods. The huge mansion was usually just the two of us. I tried my best to play with him and made him happy every day. Until the day I had a hospital appointment for a follow-up. The butler had warned me Leo couldn't leave the house. Outside triggered panic attacks. I crouched down. Hey, babe, wait for me at home. I'll be back in an hour. He grabbed my hand and wouldn't let go. Didn't say anything, just looked at me with those dark, sad eyes.
He's scared you're not coming back. His mother left him exactly like that.
I crouched down again. I'm coming back. I'll see the doctor and come right home. You play here, okay? I was still mid-sentence when he climbed into the back seat of the car. The butler tried not to hope.
Master Leo! You're going to the hospital with Miss Bennett?
Leo nodded. The butler's eyes filled. His voice shook.
Thank God! He's finally willing to leave the house!
Your depression's getting better. Just keep it slow. Relax.
I took the script and the meds and left. Leo was waiting in the lobby with his small dinosaur king.
Nora, are you sick?
A little kiddo. I used to skip meals a lot, so I got sick. Promise me you'll never let yourself get like that.
Does it hurt? If it hurts, I can give you candy?
He took a piece of candy out of his pocket and pressed it into my palm.
Daddy told me candy makes you forget.
My tears fell without warning. In the Crane house, I'd cry and they'd call it dramatic.
Small town girl. Can't handle the lifestyle.
I told Sebastian I had depression. He told me I was making it up to ruin his mood.
Stop faking it to get attention!
The nephew I'd raised for 2 years stood next to his mother on divorce day and called me ugly. And here was this 4-year-old Mafia Heir handing me his last piece of candy. I scooped him up and held him tight, so small, he patted my back with one tiny hand.
I'm going to eat every meal so I can grow up and protect you.
You better grow fast, babe. When we walked out of the hospital, there was a black Mayock idling at the curb. Luca was leaning against it, hands in his pockets. I walked over with Leo's hand in mine. Mr. Castellino, why are you here?